Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun from Doc Sports back with your what we call salt and pepper. That's what you guys named it. Weekly show. Today, we're going to be talking Major League Baseball. We're going to cover all the games for Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. Unfortunately, we did miss last week. I was in Vegas. I wish I would have been on because I was absolutely on fire. Of the 5 days there was there, I had a big profit on all but one day, and that day I think I was about even. So, but you can get on all of our plays every day. Of course, you go to docsports.com/free60. That's where you get the free $60 trial account. Try either one of us out, or you can try both. Today's not a huge card. It's mostly Major League Baseball and WNBA, NBA, and NHL finals is off today. But you can go over there and you can use $30, get both of our baseball picks, or if you want a WNBA from IC or Major League Baseball from me, whatever, go over there and use that free 60. Of course, you're an existing user, just go to the grid and get in on our Major League Baseball or WNBA for today. Okay, IC, don't forget, tell them about our Premium and Premium Plus. This is one heck of a deal here, and this is YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, Premium and Premium Plus is a lot of fun. You get a daily video, extra video every single day from yours truly, which is always a blast. Somewhere between 3 and 5 selections, usually 5 selections. Sometimes it's more than that. And you get my total of the day on there too. I think we're on a 7-2 run with my total of the day, which is exciting. And, on my normal video, you get 5 selections. But with YouTube Premium, you get 5 extra selections every single day. It's the first video that I put up. You get an extra video every single day, about 150 selections, all for just $20 a month. And Premium Plus is just insane because you're getting 3 extra selections. These are all premium selections at Doc Sports. They're each worth $30. So you're getting $90 worth of value all in one day. So you're basically, 90 times, $27 worth of value, all for just $50 a month. And with that package, Premium Plus, you also get my $20 per month included. So you get both, all for just $50 a month, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a great way to test us out because, we're not going to have our, 5, 6, 7, 8 unit top plays, but you get a lot of extra plays that are in that 2, 3, 4 unit level. So it's a good way to check us out. Click the link in the description to get in and make sure you use it on a desktop, because if you do use it on your phone and you use iPhone or Google, they actually do, since those people charge it, they pass along that fee. We don't get any extra. It's the same for us either way, but it will save you every month. And this is one of those where it renews every month. So once you get in, you don't have to worry about that price changing or anything like that. And then you can cancel it at any time. Okay, let's get us started here in Major League Baseball. We're going to go back and forth here. And this is a good matchup starting us off here. And this one's the Detroit, shout out to Detroit Lenny, Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. And this one does not have a line out there right now. So we're going to skip this one, actually. False alarm. I do think the Tigers will be favored, but for some reason the line's not out on this one. So we're going to move you, IC, to my Cincinnati Reds. Nice win today, facing the Guardians here. The Reds have won the 4 games head-to-head this season so far. And the Guardians are favored by -115, total 8. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I actually backed Cleveland earlier this week for a nice winner. Cincinnati comes in this game winning 7-4, and they've won now 4 in a row, which is pretty impressive. They swept Arizona. Obviously, they haven't quit on the season. And sweeping Arizona was impressive, and obviously picking up the first game of the series was good too. Not a lot of people backing Cincinnati here. A lot of people backing Cincinnati, not a lot of people backing Cleveland here. Cleveland comes into this game 3 games above 500. They just lost 4-7 in their last game as well, and they've lost 4 of their last 5 coming in, which is why not a lot of people are showing a lot of faith in them. But then again, you have Abbott here, the 2.21 ERA. Saccone just under a 5 ERA. Has Abbott faced Cleveland? He went 5 innings, 4 hits, and no runs, and he beat him last time. The only thing is he comes off such a bad loss in his last effort: 6 innings, 7 hits, and 5 runs against the Brewers. He gave up 2 home runs in that contest too. So it's actually his worst loss of the year. And the last time he had something that bad was 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs against the Rockies on the road, which he won. Next game against the Cardinals, he went 4 innings, 3 hits, and 1 run. So you get a team here with revenge, but then again, you get a pitcher who comes off his worst start of the year, and then you get Saccone here, hook it up. As he pitched against Cincinnati, he went 5 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs, and he lost to this team last time. He actually pitched pretty well against the Yankees, and he lost to them 5 innings, 5 hits, and 2 runs as well. It's a tough game because you have Cleveland should do well in this game, but it is hard to go against Abbott as well. Cleveland has revenge. At the same time, Sacconi's off of back to, a horrible start. He also has revenge too. I can see this game going out of the way, but I'm actually going to back Cleveland here. I think they really need this win. They come off a 4-7 loss. I think Sacconi can come through. And Abbott at some point, I think people are starting to figure him out a little bit here too. He gave up 6 hits against the Cubs. He gave up about 7 walks in his last 4 games as well. I'm going to surprise people. I'm going to back Cleveland here. We move on to the 6:40 time slot here as Miami's facing Pittsburgh. Interesting game here. Miami and Pittsburgh just faced each other. Pittsburgh just clobbered them, 10-3. Pittsburgh's playing well right now. Miami, of course, comes off back-to-back losses, and they're, 16 games under 500. But Pittsburgh, they've won 4 in a row now, including sweeping the Phillies, and they got Alcantara and Keller here. What do you think?
Well, I don't know what's wrong with Alcantara. Sandy's been an absolute – I thought he was going to be one of those big acquisitions before the trade deadline because that's just the nature of how Miami does it, and I thought they were going to be able to get some nice prospects. At this rate, they're going to be giving them away for like a pack of big league chew. It's just not been well. This is the first 4-game winning streak of the year for Pittsburgh. And remember, the Marlins got swept by the Rockies. That's how bad they're playing right now. Give me Pittsburgh Pirates here. I think this is a gift. I think Keller's better than even his 4.14 ERA. I think this is a steal. Anywhere under minus 150, I think it's a steal. Let's lay the Pirates. I think they take care of business against a Marlins team that's just it's like, hey, I think this is like a week before the trade deadline or something, the way they're playing. They're just playing uninspired baseball the last few weeks. All right, I see. How about Cubs and Phillies? Good game yesterday. Cubs have been playing really good baseball on the year. They're 40-26. I thought the Cubs could be a nice team. I didn't think they'd be 14 games above 500. Phillies have really struggled, even though they did get the win yesterday. 2-8 in their last 10 games. Phillies minus 120, total 9.5. What do you like in this one?
Well, Cubs have lost back-to-back games, and it's the first time they've lost back-to-back games since early May. So it's been over a month. They lost that game to the Tigers 0-4, and they lost 3-4 yesterday to the Phillies. Phillies, man, did they need that game? They had lost 5 in a row coming in. They did beat the Cubs 4-3. But even in that game, the Phillies, they had 16 hits in that game, and they only won by 1 run. And the Cubs only had 5 hits, and they got 3 runs. So, that doesn't bode well for a team when you get 16 hits and only put up 4 runs. You get Ray and Abel here. Ray rolls into this game. Has he faced Philadelphia? He has. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, and no runs last time out. Pretty great start for him. Dominated Washington, 5 innings, 5 hits, and no runs. I do think that I shouldn't say dominated. He beat Washington last time, but he had no strikeouts in his last game, which is the first time since the beginning of the year. So I do like the prop here for over in strikeouts for him this time around. He was coming off back-to-back horrible starts against Cincinnati, and he bounced back nicely against Washington. You have a Philadelphia team that has revenge, but then you got Mick Abel here who rolls in, went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run against Toronto, pitched really well. And 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs against Pittsburgh. Against Toronto, he only had 2 strikeouts. So I think both these pitchers are going to go over in strikeouts, particularly Abel. You have one pitcher off of a loss, one coming off of a win. I like Philadelphia here again, actually, in some respects, because I do like the fact that Philly has a little bit of revenge against him, but I don't like the fact that Cubs come off of a loss yesterday. What's interesting is his total sits around 55% of the public is on the under. So what I really like in this game is the over. I think what happens here, you get a ticked-off Cubs team who comes in. I was going to have some success here. Philly has revenge against Ray as well. I think the over makes a lot of sense here. And I might make this my YouTube premium selection of the day tomorrow for the total. So as we move on here, Washington and the Mets. All right, so you get Washington here, who's a fascinating team, under 500 right now. They come off that back-to-back loss to Texas. The Mets come in this game. Man, the Mets are 42-24, rolling right now. You have Gore here and Canning. Mets come in as about minus 160 favorite. What do you think on a total of 7.5?
Yeah, the Washington Nationals. If you'd have said this Washington was going to be within 5-6 games of 500 at this point in the season, I'd say no way. Just no way. I just thought they were too young. I thought they were a year or two away in a very, very tough division. But they've played really good baseball. They've been a nice underdog team most of the year. And today's starter, Gore, has been amazing. I think he could be a guy that there's some teams that are probably going to be looking at a nice lefty, 2.88 on the year. I think he's like just 3-5 because he's had some bad luck as far as not getting runs when he's really pitched well. I like the under in the first 5 innings. This one, Canning's been very good as well. I think this. I see the under like 3.5 or 4, depending on where you look at it. I think this game is going to be like 0-0, 1-0 in the first 5 innings. So I would take the first 5 innings. As far as the full game, I would probably give the Nationals a slight edge at this price. It all comes down to the bullpen. And the bullpen does favor the Mets, but that's why they're favored in this one. But I think the stronger play, you take the under in the first 5 innings in this with a good Nationals and Gore on the mound tonight and a good matchup in the division here. Now I see we got the next game, Rays and the Red Sox. Good extra inning game. The Rays did prevail in 11 innings tonight. We basically see this as a pick'em game. Rays minus 110, Red Sox minus 110, total 9.5 here. What do you like about this game here? The Rays now, don't look now, they're the last wild card spot if it's a long time to go, but they'd be the last wild card if the season ended today.
Yeah, I mean, they swept the Rangers. They've won 6 of 7. They just beat Boston 10-8. Boston rolls into this game, of course. 3. I have no idea how Cora still has a job. I really don't. I think he's got something on the brass. He's a shyster character. You know what I mean? Remember the whole Houston Astros situation? Yeah. Cora's a shyster character, dude. So he's definitely got something on somebody for him to keep a job this long, especially with that fan base. But Boston lost 8-10 in their last game. They did take 2 or 3 from the Yankees, which should make the faithful happy. But they also lost 2 or 3 to the Angels. So you get a Boston team rolling in here, coming off of a loss. You get Tampa off of a huge win. Pepio and Giolito here. Pepio, you got a guy here who faced Boston early this year, went 6 innings, 9 hits, and 6 runs, and he got throttled. He also went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs against Texas, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs against Houston. He's pitching really, really well right now. I like the fact that he gave up 2 home runs in his last game, likely to bounce back. And if you really look at it, he's gone about 9 to 10 straight starts where he's given up 3 runs or less, and that's impressive. And then you get Giolito, who rolls in here, who obviously pitched for the White Sox last year with a 3.79 ERA. The White Sox let go of him on a pretty high level because he had a 6.89 ERA in 2023, 7 ERA in 2023 as well when he was at Cleveland. And then he had one good year, goes to Boston. Now he's over a 6 ERA. Lucas is pitching against, obviously, Tampa Bay, who is not pitching against this year. He only went 1 inning, 8 hits, and 7 runs in his last game. But he had a great start against Baltimore, but he comes off his worst start of the year. Interesting game. I mean, you could get Giolito to bounce back. At the same time, Pepio is pitching really well, but Boston is on the bounce back as well. It's a tough game. What's interesting is so much of the public is on the over in this game, which I find fascinating. But I actually, I kind of like the under. I feel like Pepio got throttled by Boston. It was his worst start of the year. I think he'll pitch better this time around. I think the last game going to 18 runs is going to encourage everybody to take the over again because they don't have that much confidence, either of these guys, and I think they're wrong. And I think Giolito comes off his worst start of the year. So the only thing that makes sense here is probably the under, in my opinion. All right. The Texas Rangers facing the Minnesota Twins here. The pitcher, I don't see a pitcher here for Minnesota. What do you want to do? Do you want to bypass this game?
It doesn't matter for the pitcher to me. I'm taking. I'll line this one up for you. I'll make it very easy, and we'll move to the next one because we don't have a lot to talk about with the pitcher missing. Molly's been unbelievable. I keep waiting for the shoe to drop. He was a Red, so I know a lot about him. He's been amazing. He really has. Low 2 ERA. I don't think that's going to sustain throughout the year, but he's put enough sample size for me on paper that I'm taking the Rangers here. I know their offense has kind of been up and down. That's really the worry, though. The pitching's not a problem, I don't think. Give me the Rangers plus 102 in this one as a little small play. Since we don't know the pitcher, I'm not going to go crazy on it. All right, let's go. Hey, you're Braves. It just happens to be you get the Braves. Braves minus 120 against the Brewers tonight. Total 8.5 here. Braves team is just 2-8 in their last 10 games. I thought they turned it around when they got above 500 after that slow start.
Hey, man, we're on a one-game winning streak, dude.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. You can't get to a 10-game winning streak unless you win one.
Yeah, of course, that was with Chris Sale, our ace.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless, we had lost. Can you believe we had lost like 7 in a row coming into that game? And 4 or 5. So, yeah, 7 in a row. And we did win, 7-1 against Milwaukee last time. The Braves are favored again. And Milwaukee comes in off back-to-back losses. Milwaukee's kind of fading away a little bit here, I feel like. But the Braves fan base is just like whatever at this point. But you get Holmes and Priester here. But the season's still very, very long, and anything can happen, especially in Atlanta, the Bravos. But Holmes comes in off of a 3-inning, 4-hit, 3 runs last game against Arizona. Obviously, he's got, more hair than anyone can ever imagine with that Thor haircut he's got going on. But, the 3-inning effort that he had is probably the shortest outing of the year as he, started the game. He comes off back-to-back losses. Man, he needs a really good start. He did go 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run against the Padres, which is impressive. He went 6-4-1 against Washington, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. That's impressive. I think he really and he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against Minnesota, who I think is a pretty good team. He has to come through for a quality start here. I don't think he's pitched against Milwaukee this year. He hasn't. So, the Brewers see him for the first time. Priester rolls in here with a 3.93 ERA. I like the fact that he comes off back-to-back wins. He has not put together 3 straight wins all year. He faced Cincinnati and Philadelphia on the road, which is impressive. But Philly's struggling, and Cincinnati. But he did have a decent effort against Pittsburgh. I think at some point he's going to have a letdown. I think it's probably this game. He certainly hasn't put together 4 straight amazing starts in a row. So I'm going to back the Braves here, surprisingly. I think it's a decent public fade. So I'm going to back the Bravos. All right, Yankees here on the road against the Royals. Yankees roll in here, losing back-to-back games after those 2 Boston losses, but still 39-25, pretty awesome. Kansas City's had a pretty good year for their standards, 2 games above 500. You get Max Fried, who former Brave, and Cameron here on a total of 8.5, and the Yankees come in as 2-1 favorite. What do you like here?
Yeah, I mean, it's how do you find value? The Yankees is deserving favorite here. Max Fried, what a pickup. He's been really, really good. I thought maybe he wouldn't be as good in the American League. I just think the offense is a little better in the American League. It has not bothered. He's been really, really good. And, I do like that they had the day off because after you play that Sunday night baseball and you lose to your rival, if they'd have came back and played on Monday, it would have been a tough get-up type of game. But I think that day off helps them here. I think you play the Yankees run line in the first 5 innings. I like Max. I like the pitching matchup. I think he has a pretty significant pitching matchup. And this KC team that really struck. If this Kansas City team was just in the middle of the run, if they were in like the 15 to 20 range on offense, this team would have a really great record. They just don't score runs easily. They really struggle. Kind of remind me a little of the Guardians. Give me the Yankees first 5 innings on the run line, really as a big tip to the hat to Max Fried in the starting pitching edge. All right, I see we're going to the 7:45 game Eastern Standard Time. The Blue Jays, nice extra inning wins. That was my top play yesterday. Nice win over the Cardinals here. The Blue Jays, hot, 8-2, -125 here, total 8.5 for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals. The Cardinals have not lost 3 in a row since late April. So the fact that, that's how they were able to put this string together. That's what the Braves are hoping too. The Cardinals got back into the mix of things, 6 games above 500, back-to-back losses. But Toronto's been playing exceptionally well, like you're saying, 8 of 10 wins. And, they've continued to win series after series. You get Bassett here against, Miles here. And Bassett, has he faced against St. Louis? He hasn't. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run against Philadelphia, 5.75 against Oakland. He's been a little sketchy of late with 6 walks in his last 3 starts. 2 of 3 non-quality starts. He's only put together back-to-back quality starts 3 times this year. He comes off a pretty impressive effort against Philadelphia, who's sketchy and not good right now anyway. And then you get Miles here, who looking up. Has he pitched against Toronto? He has not. And I love the fact that there's so many games between interleague play, which makes things far more interesting. Miles went 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs against Kansas City. He won. He's actually won his last 7 starts. He's had back-to-back non-quality starts, which I think is great for us. He went 6-4-1 against Arizona, or 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs against Kansas City. All of that is great stuff. And I think it makes sense. What you're getting is Miles did win back-to-back games, but you're getting Miles here technically on a bounce back. And you're getting Bassett here on a bit of a letdown. And I think the Cards came off a loss yesterday. They haven't lost 3 in a row, which means they're going to get their players up for this game. Definitely the new head coach. So I'm going to back the Cardinals. All right. Now the White Sox, the game that we've all been sitting around waiting for. The White Sox, as they face Houston here, as Houston's a -190 favorite. Totals at 7.5. But, the White Sox, they're shining. They're man in shining armor. Shane Smith, who has an incredible 2.47 ERA. We all need to find out what he's taking because he's very optimistic and positive to have such a great season with such a bum of a team. But 2.47 ERA is really impressive. He's facing McCullers here, total of 7.5. Houston comes in as a -190 favorite. What do you think?
I hate the side to total this game, but I do like a prop in this one. I think it's too. Houston's not a team I like to lay the run line with, and McCullers has kind of been hit or miss a little bit as far as it seems like he doesn't get a lot of run support when he needs it. When he has a bad outing, then when he has a good outing, or when he has a bad outing, he gets crushed. So I like McCullers over the strikeout total. This is a White Sox team that can struggle to put the ball in play. It's 6.5. He's had over that in like 3 or 4 straight starts. I like McCullers over 6.5 strikeouts, and I think it's at plus 125 last time I saw it. So get in on this one. I do think that will probably end up probably in that plus 110 area. But either way, I like the plus juice over 6.5 strikeouts for McCullers. And that's what you said. Stellar. Everybody's going to be tuning in for this one. All right. Next game, we got another bad team, 8:40 Eastern Standard Time start. The Rockies, worst team in baseball, in my opinion, but the White Sox aren't that far behind. But, Giants here, minus 225, total 11.5. How do we find a little value in this one, I see?
Well, I will tell you this about, I guess I was harsh on the White Sox. They did win 4 of 5, which is incredible of late, or 3 or 4. So to credit to them. But all right, you have the Giants here who won 5 in a row now. I was actually getting a little down on the Giants, but then they turned it around so quickly. They swept my Bravos. They took 2 of 4 from the Padres, but the other 2 games they lost to was only by 1 run. So, they're 10 games above 500. They've turned some things around here. They're facing Colorado here as they hook up against them. They faced each other earlier this year, and Colorado won 1 of the 4 games, and they won the first game of the series, and then they got absolutely clobbered. And then the Rockies come in here having lost 3 in a row to the Mets, including 5-13 in their last game. I don't think San Francisco wants to lose the first game of the series again this time around. You have Kyle Harrison here, who has not faced the Rockies, who also comes off a 4-inning, 9-hit, 5-run performance in his last game. Really bad start. He only had 3 strikeouts as well. So I like Harrison to go over in strikeouts here. But I also like him to bounce back in general, too. And then you get Palmquist here, who I thought was a better pitcher, but he has an 8.5 ERA. He hasn't faced San Francisco this year. He went 4 innings, 4 hits on 4 runs against the Mets, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs against the Cubs. He just had 2 bad starts. He's been pitching better of late as well. What I find interesting is the total is sitting at 11.5. I think there's the only way to look at this game is San Francisco run line, because San Francisco lost that first game to the Rockies last time. I think that's going to motivate him a little bit. And, Kyle Harrison comes off a bad loss, so I'll take the Giants on the run line. Not trying to be a homer here, but, Giants on the run line kind of makes sense there. All right, the Athletics roll in here against the Angels. The Athletics are interesting. They took 3 or 4 lately, 2 or 3 from Baltimore. They're still 15 games under 500. You have the Angels here who, with Ron Washington, 4 games under 500, just an interesting team, and they continue to play hard. You have Spence and Soriano here, about a minus 130 favorite. The Angels are on a total of 9. What do you think?
The Angels, as we're taping this, are down 4-0, I think, like 7th inning. The positive thing, for if you're an A's backer, they're on the road, which they've actually been a much better team. They've been absolutely terrible at home. That small, ballpark has not helped their pitching staff at all. But I just think this Angels team, they're 4 games as we're playing this. If they win, which they are right now, they'll be 3 games below 500. Nobody in their right mind would have thought that would be the case. And I don't know how you get around not playing the Angels in this matchup. I don't love the price at minus 164. So I would probably play, if you can. I kind of like, this has been one of my new things, the alternate run lines. DraftKings has it. I think FanDuel does as well, but you can play the -1. So if it ends up 1, you get a push. You'll get that about even money, minus 110 right now. So I would play the -1 Angels on the alternate run line in this game too. It looks like they're going to win game 1, so I think they bounce back. I just don't like the way the A's have been playing, to be honest. They're just a team that I thought they needed to win with pitching. Their offense has been better, but the pitching's been downright terrible. So let's take the Angels, the Fighting Washingtons, as they say. The last game for you, then we'll have one more from me. Mariners at the Diamondbacks. As we speak, Diamondbacks are winning. I believe they're up 2-0 in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. So, but the Seattle's favorite in this one, slight favorite, minus 111, total 8.5. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, obviously the Mariners are losing tonight, and they did, about 2 games over 500. Arizona, I thought would be better than they are, and they just got swept by the Reds. That's why they're probably playing better tonight. They're probably a little bit more focused. They did, of course, sweep my Braves as well. So then you have Wu and Fat here. Wu coming in here. Has he pitched against Arizona? He has not.
That should be a band. Wu Fat. Woo Fat.
That's funny. That sounds like a 90s band. Yeah. Remember the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah, it's like Wu-Fan.
Wu comes here with 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs against Baltimore, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs against Minnesota. He's actually lost his last 3 starts. He has to bounce back. And given the fact that Seattle's already down here, given the fact that Brandon Pfaadt rolls in here coming off a nice win against the Braves, although he didn't pitch well, 3 innings, 5 hits, and 5 runs in that game. Prior to that, he had no outs, 6 hits and 8 runs. So he didn't record an out and give up 8 runs to Washington. He's had 5 straight non-quality starts. Does he turn it again? Maybe, but not against Seattle, who's coming off of a loss, and against Wu's lost 2 in a row. I think Seattle, and the price is interesting, kind of makes me a little nervous, but I do like Seattle here to get it done. All right, the last game on the board here is the Dodgers and the Padres. I don't have an announced pitcher for the Dodgers. Let me check one more place, but I don't have an announced. But I do have, Dylan Cease here for San Diego. On a total of 8.5, and maybe the Padres come in as a -110 favorite. I'm watching this game right now, and I'm actually on the Dodgers, and it is 6-6, top of the 5th. What do you think?
Cease has not been the same pitcher this year. Like, he just hasn't been. I thought he had the chance to be kind of like that hardened ace in this lineup. He has just not been that guy. And if you're not on your top of your game against the Dodgers, they can punish you. Because they can score in bunches. And if you get to that bullpen early, which I don't think the bullpen's a problem, but it looks like they're getting used up today, as there was a bunch of runs early. I'm sure they're going to – I just think that's a problem. I'm going to take the Dodgers slight play because we don't know who the Dodgers starter is yet. But I'm guessing the Dodgers are going – it looks like the Dodgers might lose tonight, and I just can't see the Dodgers losing the first 2 games of the series. Either way, slight lean. More a play against Cease, to be very honest. But I don't know what's wrong with them. It's kind of like I think we talked about the Diamondback starter Burns. He was kind of struggling early in the year, and all of a sudden now he's out for the year. It's like something ain't right. Like with these guys, when you see that, it's like something's not right, and all of a sudden then they try to throw a little harder, and then they're throw their elbow out. So small lean towards the Dodgers in this last game of our lineup. So that's what you have for today. Don't forget, if you haven't done so, like and subscribe our video. Leave in the comments what you like for today. And then also go over to DocSports.com/free60. That'll get you a $60 free account for all new users. It's free. You don't have to do anything, but just give it your email and sign up for an account. Then it'll be put into your account and you can use it just like cash. Comes with a profit guarantee as well. And then, of course, if you're an existing user, just go to the grid and get in our top plays. I'm going to have a 3-pack of Major League Baseball plays tonight. I think you said you're going to have a WNBA step-out game probably on Tuesday. So make sure you go to the grid and get in on that. And don't forget, if you want the Premium Plus, go to the link in the description and do it on your desktop. $49.99. You'll get the level 1 included in the Premium Plus as well. If you just want the IC level 1, it's just $19.99, but it's all at that link. So make sure you click that link. All right, guys, thanks again for joining in. IC, thanks for making time for everybody, and we'll see you back next time. Good luck.